Right now I'm here with Robert Seay, who is the social media manager of North Texas Television. Welcome, Robert. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I have a question. There's a phenomena going on called phubbing. Have you heard of it?
I've heard that word thrown around, but I haven't exactly had it explained to me.
Okay, so phubbing is the act of using your phone or being on your phone while you're surrounded by other people having a conversation. And I know that your work requires a lot of time on your phone and checking your emails and working on social media for NTTV and your personal. So I wanted to ask you, have you practiced the act of phubbing?
Yes, I have, occasionally. Obviously, there's a fine line that you want to draw when you're doing it. You don't want to be disrespectful to somebody you don't know. If people know that it's your job to be on social media, they understand that it's an ongoing profession, that it's something that you're constantly working in a sense. And so, yeah, I do it. I try to be respectful about it, but you have to do it if you want to be a professional in social media.
Absolutely. In this case, that's your job, being on social media. But what about other people? Does it bother you when other people is constantly on their phones while you're having a conversation with them?
Well, it certainly depends. Obviously, there's a generational gap where social media can confuse some people, so it seems like we're taking so much effort and putting it into getting on our phone. But in a way, that's kind of like getting mad at mechanics for holding a conversation while they're changing someone's oil. It's sort of just second nature. Now, that being said, some people are just rude. Teenage girls, for example.
Teenage girls. And what do you think that draws the line between what is, not so disrespectful and really disrespectful?
When, I think you can tell by the way the conversation's carried. If they're just in their phone and you're getting a bunch of one-word answers and they're not actually engaging in your conversation, then I think you understand that they're splitting, they're kind of half-assing, both sides of it. They're not fully engaging you, and well, they might be fully engaging their phone, but if they're trying to have a conversation with somebody, you just shouldn't do that.
And that's actually a big part, engaging in a conversation. So do you think that this phubbing phenomena will affect communication, face-to-face communication, in the future, because people are so concerned with their phones that they're not paying attention to what's going around them?
Well, I think it already has. I think whenever you go through Twitter and you only get so many characters per person, it almost makes it seem like, real people out in the world only have this many characters worth of information that you need to hear yourself. So I think it kind of subconsciously affects the attention span of people, and that can create like a somewhat ideological effect on future generations on the way that they want to engage in human beings.
And now I want to talk a little bit about education, because education, most people use their phones while they're in class and missing stuff that will help them in the future. What do you think about that?
What do you mean, like the pros and cons of it in the educational field?
The cons of it. Using your phone while you're in class, or having something around that you actually have to pay attention to.
Well, obviously, it makes people think that they're smarter than they actually are. They don't pay attention in class. They don't actually gather the full information. They just base their knowledge on headlines.
Well, thank you very much, Robert, for this opportunity. And this was Catherine Rodriguez for WCAP TV.